Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring something I think a lot of you are going through right now, navigating your 30s as a single woman.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some really great sources.
Okay.
Everything from like heartfelt personal reflections to really practical advice.
I love it.
So, we're going to be diving into a blog post called A Letter for the Single Woman, 30s edition.
Okay.
Another one that's got tips for making friends in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll wrap things up with some wisdom from Tony Robbins himself.
Wow.
So by the end of this deep dive, hopefully you'll be feeling less alone,
Yeah.
have some new ways to connect with others,
Yeah.
and maybe even be inspired to pursue your passions in this exciting decade.
I think a lot of women in their 30s are going to find themselves nodding along to these sources.
Oh, yeah.
They really capture the joys and the challenges of this unique stage of life.
Absolutely. So let's start with this letter from Mandy.
Okay.
She doesn't hold back at all. And her honesty is what makes it so relatable.
Yeah.
So she's 37, never been married, and she admits to being tired of pretending everything's okay, waiting for her husband, even though she believes in God's plan.
Yeah.
Just feels like this emotional weight.
Right.
And I think a lot of women can relate to that feeling of like being in a holding pattern, especially when society puts so much emphasis on marriage and family as these markers of success.
Yeah. It's almost like there's this this unspoken timeline, right?
Right.
For how our lives should unfold. And when we deviate from that, it's easy to kind of internalize those societal messages and feel like we're falling behind.
Exactly. And she doesn't shy away from those negative thoughts. She calls them lies, like time is running out.
Right.
My dream of having children is futile because I'm not married, or just feeling like you're not enough.
Yeah. And Mandy highlights a crucial point here. I think, those lies that we tell ourselves are often amplified by, societal pressures. This is especially relevant for single women in their 30s who might be bombarded with messages about their biological clocks.
Right.
The need to settle down.
It's like that inner critic just loves to pile on, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
And then she brings up this struggle with surrendering to God's plan.
Okay.
This feeling of trying to control the timeline instead of trusting that things will unfold as they should.
That's such a relatable struggle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not limited to single women or even just those in their 30s. It's about that human desire to have things our way on our schedule.
Yes.
But, I think Mandy's point is that, recognizing that sometimes our timeline doesn't match the divine plan.
Yeah.
And accepting that takes a shift from demanding to trusting.
It's a powerful reminder that letting go of control can be incredibly freeing.
Absolutely.
And Mandy's personal story adds another layer to this.
Okay.
She talks about her choice to remain a virgin and how challenging it can be to navigate those societal judgments, both internally and externally.
This is so important. Women are constantly facing pressure around their sexuality. It's like there's this unspoken expectation that we should be having certain experiences by a certain age.
Yeah.
And when our choices don't align with those expectations, it can be really difficult to own them without feeling shame or judgment.
And it's so easy to internalize those judgments,
Right.
to feel like you have to explain or defend your choices,
Totally.
So Mandy's message of unconditional love, regardless of past choices, is so powerful.
Yeah.
It reminds us that our worth
Right.
isn't tied to our relationship status
Yes.
or sexual history.
It's about embracing the fullness of who we are right now
Yes.
without needing external validation.
Mandy gets a lot of questions about dating,
I bet.
but she explains why she doesn't write about it much.
Okay.
She mentions respecting people's privacy.
Right. Her own safety concerns and the fact that, everyone's already writing about dating.
Right.
But she also brings up this really interesting point
Okay.
about not wanting her whole life to revolve around her relationship status.
That's so refreshing.
Isn't it?
It's like she's saying, I'm more than just my relationship status.
Yes.
She has passions, interests, and goals that exist
Right.
outside of the quest for a partner.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that we're all multifaceted beings.
Yes.
And there's so much more to life than just finding a partner.
Plus, she makes this hilarious observation
What's that?
about being that girl who announced, like, she's taking a year off dating
Oh, yeah.
and then meets someone a month later.
I've been there. It's like being single is just this waiting room for marriage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But even while acknowledging those challenges,
Right.
Mandy emphasizes something so important.
What's that?
You are not alone.
Oh, I love that. She reminds us that there are countless women out there who are going through similar things,
Yes.
who are praying for their husbands and families, and who
Yeah.
are trying to, you know, navigate this decade with grace and purpose.
That sense of community is so vital.
It is.
It combats the isolation that a lot of women feel
Mm.
and reminds us that we're part of something bigger.
And she points out this interesting paradox that women in their 30s often face.
Okay.
We're told to be independent, yet we're expected to desire a partner.
Right.
We want to travel and experience life.
Yeah.
But there's also this pressure of time and finances.
Yeah.
It's like society sends these mixed messages about what it means to be a successful woman in this decade.
Those conflicting messages can be so confusing.
I know.
It's like we're supposed to be both fiercely independent
Yes.
and patiently waiting for our Prince Charming.
Exactly. And the messages about dating are equally confusing.
Oh, tell me about it.
We're told to be pursued,
Yeah.
but also to make the first move, but not be too forward because then men won't chase us.
It's enough to make your head spin.
It really is.
It's a reminder to filter out the noise.
Yeah.
And focus on what truly resonates with us.
Yeah.
What are our values, our desires,
Yeah.
our definitions of success.
Right.
We need to define those for ourselves
Yeah.
rather than letting
Yeah.
external expectations dictate our choices.
Mandy also brings up the well-intentioned but sometimes frustrating advice that people give.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Like, just be patient, or it'll happen when you least expect it.
Oh, I know.
It's like they're trying to be helpful,
Right.
but it can also feel dismissive
Yeah.
of the very real longing for companionship that many women feel.
It's important to acknowledge those feelings without judgment.
Yes,
Wanting a partner is a natural human desire,
absolutely.
and it doesn't make you any less independent or strong.
Exactly. And she makes a point that's often overlooked.
Okay.
Yes, we are loved by God, but it's also okay to want that physical manifestation of love. Yeah.
From a human partner.
Right.
It's not an either-or situation.
It's a beautiful reminder that our spiritual and earthly desires are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
We can have a deep connection with a higher power
Yeah.
and still yearn for human connection and intimacy.
And she goes even further by reminding us that, God created marriage.
Right.
He's 100% for us not being alone.
That's right.
So it's okay to acknowledge that desire
Well,
and pray for it.
It's about aligning our desires with our faith, recognizing that God is not against our happiness, but rather walks alongside us
Yeah.
as we navigate those desires.
Mandy then offers some really comforting advice.
Okay.
It's okay to cry, to desire a teammate,
Yeah.
to not want to do it all alone.
Those are such important permissions to give ourselves.
Oh, wow.
It's acknowledging the human need
Yes.
for connection, support, and shared experiences.
And she encourages women to find joy in, loving other people's children while they wait for their own.
And to take care of their bodies, because your husband will be grateful for the future.
There's so much wisdom in that.
Right.
It's about embracing the present moment
Yes.
and recognizing that self-care is not selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way of honoring ourselves and our future.
She talks about leaning on those trusted female friends who understand your pain and can offer support.
Right.
Which ties in nicely to our next source, which is all about building meaningful friendships in your 30s.
I can't wait to dive into that.
Oh, before we get to that, I want to touch on something else Mandy mentions.
Okay.
She talks about setting boundaries with male friends,
Oh, that's important.
which I think is so important.
It is. It's about recognizing that while male friendships can be valuable,
Yeah.
there's also a need to create space for a future romantic relationship to blossom.
And of course, she reminds us to keep praying, even when it feels like those prayers are going unanswered.
Prayer can be a source of strength,
Mm-hmm.
comfort, and guidance, even when we don't see immediate answers.
Right.
It's about maintaining that connection
Yeah.
with something bigger than ourselves.
Finally, she leaves us with a reminder to keep our standards high.
Love it.
Live a genuine life and not let social media dictate our worth.
Right.
Don't settle out of fear.
Such good advice.
Mandy's letter is such a breath of fresh air.
It is.
It's honest, it's vulnerable, and it's full of encouragement. And it really drives home the point that you're not alone in this journey.
It's a beautiful testament to the power of sharing our stories.
Yes.
And connecting with others who understand.
Okay, so we've talked about the emotional roller coaster of being single in your 30s,
Right.
those negative thoughts we battle, the
Yeah.
societal pressures,
Mhm.
and the importance of finding your tribe.
Absolutely.
So let's look at some practical ways to do that.
Okay.
Um, the blog post titled 10 Ways to Make New and Meaningful Friends in Your 30s
Love it.
has some really creative tips.
Awesome.
What stood out to you?
Um, I'm really intrigued by the idea of supper clubs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like dinners designed specifically for connecting with new people.
Right.
It's like a built-in solution for that awkwardness
Yeah.
we sometimes feel when we're, trying to make new friends as adults.
Like a blind date for friends.
I love it.
And there are so many other great ideas here.
Like what?
They talk about joining a book club,
Okay.
taking up salsa dancing,
Ooh, fun.
even just finding a new local cafe
Yeah.
and becoming a regular.
I like that. It's all about creating opportunities for connection, right?
Yeah, exactly. And those opportunities can be found
Yeah.
in the most unexpected places.
Mm-hmm.
These tips are a reminder that friendships can blossom
Right.
when we're engaged in activities we enjoy,
Yeah.
in spaces that feel comfortable,
Yes.
and when we're open to connecting
hmm
with like-minded people.
They also encourage something that might seem a little scary at first.
What's that?
DMing someone you admire online.
Oh, interesting.
You never know. A simple message could spark a genuine connection.
That's a great reminder that connection can happen anywhere,
Yeah.
even online.
And for the truly adventurous,
Right.
they even suggest moving into a share house.
Oh, wow.
It's not just a college thing.
Right.
In your 30s, it can be a way to
Yeah,
build a chosen family and create like a built-in support system.
I love that. It's about redefining what family means.
Yes.
And creating those intentional communities of support, especially for, people who are tired of living alone.
Mm-hmm.
A share house can offer a sense of belonging
Yeah.
and shared responsibility.
Their last tip is all about saying yes more often.
Oh, I like that.
Stepping outside your comfort zone and embracing new experiences.
Sometimes the best connections happen when we least expect them.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
from the emotional landscape of being single in your 30s
Mhm.
to some really practical steps
Yeah.
for building those supportive friendships Mandy talked about.
It's been great.
And we've seen how important it is to find strength in shared experiences
Yes.
and to remember that you are not alone in this journey.
Absolutely.
But there's another piece to this puzzle.
Okay.
What about finding fulfillment beyond relationships?
Good question.
And that's where Tony Robbins comes in.
All right, let's hear it.
So we've talked about the ups and downs of singlehood in your 30s.
Yeah.
The importance of those strong friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And really owning who you are.
Right.
Now, we're going to shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about finding fulfillment beyond relationships.
It's interesting how much societal emphasis there is on finding, the one
Right.
as the key to happiness. But what about all those other areas of life that can bring joy and purpose?
Exactly. And that's where Tony Robbins comes in
Oh.
with his blog post, Do What You Love What You Do.
Love him.
He makes a great point that it's not always about finding a job that feels like a constant vacation.
Right.
It's more about finding work that aligns with your strengths, your values,
Yeah.
and gives you a sense of purpose.
He kind of challenges that old saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
He agrees passion is key,
Yeah.
but he also emphasizes the importance of finding your purpose within that passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about enjoyment. It's about making a meaningful contribution.
That resonates with me. It's like, yes, you want to enjoy what you do,
Right.
but you also want to feel like you're making a difference,
Yeah.
that your work has a positive impact on the world.
And he offers some really actionable advice
Okay.
on how to find that sweet spot.
Okay.
First, he says, focus on your strengths.
Okay.
What are you naturally good at?
Yeah.
What energizes you?
Right.
Sometimes we get so caught up in what we think we should be doing
Right.
that we forget to tap into those inherent talents that make us unique.
It's almost like giving yourself permission
Yeah,
to excel in areas where you already have a natural advantage.
exactly.
And then he talks about identifying your passions,
Okay.
those things that truly light you up. Yeah.
Whether they're related to your career or not.
Right.
Yeah.
These passions might be hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
volunteer work, creative pursuits,
Yeah.
anything that gives you a sense of fulfillment and makes you feel alive.
I think a lot of women in their 30s are at a point where they're
Yeah.
ready to explore those passions more deeply.
It's like that sense of exploration and discovery we had in our 20s,
Yeah,
but with more experience and self-awareness.
exactly. Robbins also suggests considering a career counselor.
Oh, interesting.
They can help you assess your skills
Mm-hmm.
and guide you towards a path that aligns with your passions.
It's like having a personalized roadmap for your career.
Yes.
They can help you identify opportunities you
Mhm.
might not have even considered
Right?
and navigate the challenges of
Yeah.
changing careers or pursuing further education.
And Robbins is a big believer in networking.
Oh, yeah.
Connect with people in fields that interest you.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from their experiences
Yeah.
and get inspired by their stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's like tapping into this collective wisdom
Right.
and realizing that you're not alone on this journey.
And don't underestimate the power of mentors.
So true.
Find someone who has achieved what you aspire to
Right.
and learn from their mistakes and triumphs.
Their insights can be invaluable as you navigate your own path.
It's like having a guide
Yeah.
who can help you avoid common pitfalls and see opportunities that
Yeah.
you might otherwise miss.
And Robbins also emphasizes the importance of financial planning.
Oh, that's key.
As you transition towards a career you love,
Yeah.
it's crucial to be mindful of your spending
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you have the resources to pursue your dreams.
It's about being financially savvy and prioritizing those things that truly matter.
It's like investing in yourself and your future.
Yes.
Now, once you have a clearer picture of your strengths,
Okay.
passions, and resources,
Mm.
Robbins encourages creating a massive action plan.
Wow, that sounds intense.
It does, but it's essentially about breaking those big, often overwhelming goals
Right.
down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
It's about creating a roadmap for success that feels achievable and empowering.
It's about taking that vision in your head
Yeah.
and turning it into a concrete plan,
Right.
which can make all the difference in actually achieving your goals.
And it's not just about doing it all on your own.
Right.
Robbins is a big advocate for working with a coach,
Okay.
someone who can help you stay accountable to those goals,
Hmm.
overcome obstacles,
Yeah.
and develop the skills you need to succeed.
It's about having someone in your corner
Yes.
who believes in your potential
Mm-hmm.
and helps you tap into those inner resources you might not even realize you have.
And don't forget about those positive habits.
Oh, yeah.
Networking,
Yeah.
learning new skills, attending industry events.
Mhm.
All those little things can make a big difference in the long run.
It's about creating a lifestyle that supports your growth and keeps you engaged and inspired.
And when things don't go as planned.
Right, because let's face it, they rarely do.
Exactly.
Robbins encourages us to reframe those mistakes
Yeah.
as opportunities for learning and growth.
It's about embracing those setbacks and using them as fuel
Yeah.
to propel you forward.
It's about that resilience we talked about earlier,
Right.
that ability to bounce back from challenges and keep moving forward, even when things get tough.
And finally, Robbins reminds us to give ourselves credit for wanting to do what we love.
That's important.
It takes courage to pursue your passions.
Yeah.
So celebrate your efforts and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
So how does all of this tie back to navigating your 30s as a single woman?
That's a good question.
Well, I think it's about recognizing that fulfillment can come from many sources.
Right.
It's not just about finding a partner.
Yeah.
It's about discovering your passions,
Mhm.
pursuing your purpose,
Yes.
and building a life that brings you joy regardless of your relationship status.
It's about recognizing that you are whole and complete on your own.
And that's something we can all strive for.
Absolutely.
It's about expanding our definition of what it means to live a fulfilling life and recognizing that there's no one-size-fits-all formula for happiness.
I think Mandy's letter and Robbins' advice complement each other beautifully.
They do.
Mandy speaks to the raw emotions and challenges
Yeah.
of being single in your 30s,
Right.
while Robbins offers those practical steps
Mm-hmm.
we can all take to create a more fulfilling life,
Yeah.
regardless of our relationship status.
And remember, wisdom can be found in the most unexpected places.
That's true.
We've been focusing on blog posts,
Right.
but sometimes the most profound insights come from those around us, or even from a simple quote.
Yeah.
We actually have a little bonus source for you,
Oh, cool.
a list of inspirational quotes,
Okay.
specifically for women in their 30s.
I love that.
Oh, I love these quotes can be such powerful reminders
They are.
of our strength and potential.
Absolutely.
Which one speaks to you the most?
Oh, there's so many good ones.
I know, right?
But this one from Eleanor Roosevelt
Okay.
really captures the essence of what we've been discussing.
Okay.
A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets in hot water.
I love that one.
It's a reminder that we are capable of so much more than we often give ourselves credit for.
Yes.
Challenges and setbacks can actually make us stronger and more resilient.
I love that. It's like she's saying, bring on the challenges. I can handle it.
Exactly.
Another one that resonates with me is from Tina Fey.
Okay.
Do your thing and don't care if they like it.
Ooh, I like that.
It's about having the courage to be ourselves,
Yeah.
to pursue our passions, and to not let the opinions of others hold us back.
That's so important, especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded
Right.
with messages about how we should look, act, and live our lives.
It's about owning our choices and living authentically.
And one more from Confucius.
Okay.
It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop.
That's a good one.
Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves
Yeah.
to achieve certain milestones by a certain age.
Right.
But this quote reminds us that it's okay to go at our own pace.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
And it's about celebrating the journey, not just the destination.
These quotes, along with Mandy's letter and Robin's advice, offer a powerful message for women in their 30s.
Yeah.
Embrace your strength,
Yes.
pursue your passion,
Yes.
and don't be afraid to define success on your own terms.
Now, before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to share a few nuggets of wisdom
Okay.
from another blog post
All right.
called Musings of a Lady in Her Mid-30s.
Okay.
This one is all about living with intentionality.
I like it.
It's about making conscious choices, setting goals, and actively shaping the life we want,
Right.
rather than just letting things happen to us.
That's a key theme that weaves together everything we've discussed today.
It is.
It's about recognizing that we have agency, that we're not just passive passengers in our own lives.
The author shares a really interesting realization she had.
What's that?
No one's survival or ability to thrive is solely dependent on her.
Wow.
And even if she wasn't here, life would go on.
Okay.
That doesn't mean we shouldn't care for others
Right.
or strive to make a difference.
Yeah.
But it does mean we should find a healthy balance.
That's a powerful perspective shift.
It is.
It's about recognizing that we can't be everything to everyone and that it's okay to prioritize our own needs and well-being.
It's about letting go of that pressure to be perfect
Right.
and realizing that it's okay to make mistakes,
Yeah.
to say no sometimes, and to put ourselves first.
It's about giving ourselves permission to be human
Yeah.
with all our imperfections and complexities.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've explored the emotional roller coaster of being single in your 30s, the importance of sisterhood, the power of pursuing your passions,
Right.
and the wisdom of living with intentionality.
It's been great.
What stands out to you the most? You know what resonates most with me? This idea of embracing the multifaceted nature of fulfillment.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about finding a partner. It's about cultivating those deep friendships, finding purpose in your work,
Yeah.
and really living with intention in all areas of your life.
It's like we've been given this permission slip to define success on our own terms.
Oh.
It's not about checking off boxes on some predetermined timeline.
Yeah.
It's about creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling for you.
And it's about recognizing that this journey isn't a solo mission.
Oh, absolutely not.
We need those supportive friendships, mentors, and sometimes even coaches
Right.
to help us navigate the challenges and celebrate the victories.
We've talked about embracing the present moment.
Yes.
But what about the future? What dreams are you holding on to? What steps can you take, even small ones,
Yeah.
to move closer to those dreams?
That's such a powerful question.
It is.
It's like a gentle nudge to take those aspirations we've been carrying around in our hearts,
Right.
and start turning them into reality.
It reminds me of something Mandy said in her letter
Oh, yeah.
about not letting fear hold us back. It takes courage to pursue those big dreams,
It does.
but the rewards are so worth it.
And remember, you don't have to have all the answers right now.
Oh, definitely not.
Part of the beauty of this journey is the discovery, the unfolding, the unexpected turns that life throws our way.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Yes.
You are capable of incredible things. You have unique talents, passions,
Right.
and a story that's waiting to be written.
Love that.
Don't be afraid to step into your power and create a life
Yeah.
that feels truly aligned with who you are.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive
Yes,
into navigating your 30s as a single woman.
it's been fun.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights
Mhm.
and feel inspired to embrace this decade with confidence, purpose,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of joy.
And remember, you are not alone on this journey.
This is so true.
There's a whole community of women out there who are
Yeah.
cheering you on every step of the way.
Till next time, keep diving deep and
Yes.
keep shining bright.